Well, hello there and welcome to another edition of Wolfie's Wheels. This reel is a bit different to usual stuff because it's basically the scenery reel and film of things we got up to in our recent break to Fort William, where we took the Abarth, and is actually the film that I referred to in the 695 anniversary review. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the film. If you're looking for car content, it's probably not the film for you because there isn't any. The very first section was recorded on the iPhone, so the sound quality isn't perhaps as good as I'd want, but the rest of it I think is okay. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the film, and here we go. Well, today's had a bit of a change of plan, as we originally planned to go up Ben Nevis, but the car park at the visitor centre where the walk starts, it was absolutely heaving. You couldn't actually park in there at all. So we decided we would go back to Fort William, regroup our thoughts and see what we could do from Fort William. And from Fort William is a nice little walk called the Cow Path, and we're just at the summit now of the Cow Path, and in the background just down there we've got Fort William, and as we come around here, coming around this way, under the clouds behind me, sort of about there, is actually Ben Nevis itself, which is where we should have been. But I think this has been a lot more enjoyable. It's the 26th of July today, and the weather's absolutely fantastic here in Scotland. There are no midges, and up here, certainly on this lower summit, it's extremely quiet, and we've seen very few people on this path. Since we started the walk from Fort William to get to this point, it's taken us 5.8 miles, 12,300 steps, and I've recorded 65 floors to get up here, but Anne on her phone recorded 72, so it gives you an idea of the height, but I don't know the actual height itself, the summit height that we're at. Okay, I've just been reliably informed by my lovely assistant that it's actually 287 metres where we are now, which is about half-ish of the size of Ben Nevis, which I think is 400 and something. But anyway, if we were on there today, as you'll be able to see, as I said before, it's under the clouds, we wouldn't be able to see as much, so all is good. Anyway, tomorrow we're going out on some bikes, and I'll do some more scenic filming there and put that on the reel as well. And today it's Tuesday, and we decided to hire some bikes, and we've come on a really nice bike ride from Fort William over to Spain Bridge, and then over to, I think it's called Laggan. So far we've done 22 miles since we left Fort William. Absolutely glorious scenery. It's most spectacular. I'm hoping it's coming out in the background a bit here. But yeah, I mean, we should have stopped for a cafe in Spain Bridge, but I think we missed it, and we did a couple of miles looking for it, but managed to screw that one up. But there's another cafe a little bit further on, just for really a cup of tea and a bit of cake. The bikes we're riding, out of interest, are these Cube electrically assisted bikes. I don't know whether that's technically an e-bike, I guess it is, but they've got these nice chunky on-road, off-road tyres, 12 speed, and different modes here for the electric. So you've got off and eco, tour, EMTB, which is a smart setting for it knows when it wants it and knows when it doesn't, and turbo, which is an amazing setting but will eat through the battery. Battery itself
We've done 22 miles, mostly in eco or tour, but it's actually only dropped 1 bar because there was 1 bar missing off the bottom of the battery when we left. But it came from a place called Offbeat Bikes. See if I can get their little logo. Offbeat Bikes. Not the cheapest day out, but actually remarkably good, particularly if you might be interested in buying yourself an e-bike. What a great way to try them out. There you go, there's the details of it there, offbeatbikes.co.uk. Same path, and here we've got Anne just coming along. I went a bit manic perhaps on these gravel paths, because being a bloke I am actually invincible, whereas Anne realises she isn't invincible, and here she is. And here we've got just some more of the stunning scenery. I mean, it's probably not really coming out on film, but it's absolutely breathtaking. You've got water, you know, and hills and green. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And you're right off the beaten track here. You've got probably kicking off in places like Fort William itself and on the Ben Nevis, but it's so quiet and peaceful here. We've hardly seen anybody. It's been a most pleasant day out. Well, it's now the day after the epic bike ride, and got to say, I'm feeling slightly saddle sore today. I think Anne's okay. Our legs are not too bad. In the end, we did a 50-mile trip, and this was completely unintentional. The plan was originally to do a much shorter route of and I use the word only, but only 27 miles, and we ended up doing 50. And there's a very good reason for that, and it's primarily because, one, my map reading skills were not what they should have been, and two, being a bloke, I didn't really listen to the instructions on the route that were being given by the bike hire shop, because of course being a bloke I know everything. Anyhow, I'll show you just quickly on the map what actually happened, because I know exactly where we went wrong. I know why we didn't find the cafe in Speen Bridge, etc. So what we should have been doing yesterday was this loop here, up here, up to this point 7 and across here, and this is Speen Bridge, and back through this little forest, back into Fort William, down to the bike shop. But in fact, what we did do is we set off on this route here, came up here, which is cycle path 78, which was what we were told to follow. What I hadn't realised is follow it initially, not the whole path. Cycle path 78 actually then goes up here, and it goes round here, and it goes round here, and then it goes up here, which basically takes you to this point here, which is off the map on the right hand side. So it's sort of up about there, and we only found that out when we asked somebody for directions, which eventually even I was forced to do. So instead of going around this nice loop, we actually went sort of all the way up here and then just sort of retraced our steps back down. But it was a great day, even though it wasn't quite as planned. Anyhow, we got back to the bike shop safely. I really don't think I could have covered 50 miles on a conventional bike. It was pretty tiring enough doing it on an e-bike. I say tiring, it was probably more saddle sore than tiring physically. When we got back and we told the guys at the shop what had happened, certainly the chap at the returns area said, "You went to Laggan?" Like incredulous. And he reckoned that 50 miles was the furthest that anyone's ever done on one of their day hires, even on an electric bike. And he was also quite impressed that we came back with some charge, because a lot of people apparently go on a much shorter route and come back with no battery whatsoever. Anne had 2 bars left when she got back, and I had 1 bar. Anyhow, that was that day, and tomorrow is another day, another dollar, and I think we're going to be going out on the train to Mallaig. Being a cheapskate, we're not going to go on the Harry Potter Express, which costs about 60 quid. We're just going to go on the conventional train, which takes exactly the same route and is £15 return. So that's a good saving. I like the feel of that. Anyhow, that's it for today, and I'll take some more footage, hopefully from the train tomorrow and our time at Mallaig. It's now Thursday, which is the last day of the break, and we're at Inverness. No, we're not. We're at Fort William Station, just waiting for the Jacobite Steam Express to come in. We're not going on it, it's just coming in now. We're not going to see the steam engine go out today. It's not actually due out until 12:45. We're on a normal service, which is actually leaving at 12:12. So this is as near to steaming as we're actually going to get today. Well, we've made it on the train over from Fort William to Mallaig. We're just down in a harbour at the moment. Hopefully you've just seen a bit of footage of the journey. It's very much a working harbour, so you can probably hear one of the local fishing boats engine in the background. Can't do anything about that. People have got to earn a living. But yeah, it's really quite pretty down here. We was hoping to take some shots of the ferry over to Skye, but I just missed that. I was at the top of a hill, which you might be able to see behind us. Where are we? There's a mast. We've just been up there, saw a deer, which the picture you can probably see about now, that Anne took. But yeah, it's a nice enough place. It's time now, I think, to go and find a bit of lunch. Wrap up a bit here at Mallaig. Just in the background, down just here, you have got, according to this, the Isle of Egg. The next one across, which is, I think, here, is the Isle of Rum. And then coming right round this way, over just there is the point of Slate on the Isle of Skye. So this is a steam train that we didn't come on in steam. One of the disappointing things is you can't actually smell it on here, but the smell of this steam is fantastic. It's quite hard to get pictures of. Kind of cunningly put in a place where you can't really get good shots of it. Anyway, back to train. enjoyed the film, some of the things we got up to. We ended up doing 775 miles in the car. We did 50 miles on bikes, 35 miles on foot, and about 90 miles on the train trip to Mallaig and back. And we had a great time. Just out of interest, this is the view from the bedroom window of where we're staying at the moment, which is on the Isle of Whithorn in Dumfries and Galloway. Lovely. And hopefully I'll see you in a future Wolfie's Wheels video. If you like to give it a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, tell your mates, share it, blah blah blah. And I'll look forward to seeing you in a future episode. Bye.